Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Moments Gaming back with another special episode of the Draft Lottery. This episode is going to be for the $120 league. So right here we're going to get kicked off. And again, just following the same format as the $60 league. If you look at your app, if you open up your app, these names that you see are in the same order as you see on your app. So just following the divisions and following the teams, it's going to be the same order that you get through there. And what we'll do again, just kind of like we did in the $60 league. I don't know if you watched it or not. To determine your draft order in the lottery, we're going to use this device here, the same device that we use in the $60 league draft lottery. And just to give an example, if I were to spin this for the first pick, to determine the first pick, if I was to spin this and the number of the ball says 14 on it, then I would come down here and number 14, Go Zeke, he would receive the first pick in the draft if he was my first roll. So we did that the same way in the $60 league draft. We're going to do it the same way in the $120 league. Stay tuned. We're about to get that kicked off right now. But here we go. Alright, so again, we're going to use this little draft, this little lottery pick right here to determine the picks 1 through 16. But we're going to go ahead and start with the first pick right here. So the first pick in the $120 fantasy football league draft goes to the first pick in the $120 fantasy football league goes to number 13, which is running brackets. Running brackets. Number 13 received pick number 1 in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft. All right, so pick number 2 in the draft goes to the number 2 pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league goes to number 16, Jag Nation. Jag Nation receives the number 2 pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft. To determine the third pick in the draft, the third pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to number 2, Tropics. Tropics. The third pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league goes to Tropics. Tropics. The fourth pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to number 14. The fourth pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to Go Zeke. Go Zeke. The fifth pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to number 8. Number 8. Tony's Terrific Team. Tony's Terrific Team receives the 5th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft. So the 6th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to number 3. Number 3, the 6th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league goes to Matthew Allen's team. Matthew Allen's team. The 6th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft. The 7th pick in the 2018 fantasy football league draft goes to number 7. The 7th pick in the 2018 draft, the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to Bless 'em Boyz. Bless 'em Boyz gets the 7th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft. The 8th pick in the draft goes to the 8th pick goes to number 10. The 8th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to James's Neat Team. James's Neat Team. The 9th pick in the 2018 $120 fantasy football league draft goes to Number 5. The People's Champ. The People's Champ receives the 9th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. The 10th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft goes to number 11, Kiara's Unreal Team. Kiara's Unreal Team receives the 10th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. The 11th pick in the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft goes to number 12. The 11th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft goes to Chris's Nice Team. Chris's Nice Team receives the 11th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. The 12th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft goes to number 6. Brandon's Team. Brandon's Team receives the 12th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. For the 13th pick in the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft, we have number 1. Dwayne's Team. Dwayne's Team receives the 13th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. The 14th pick in the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft, $120 league goes to number 9. The 14th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft goes to MATTRESSMAN. MATTRESSMAN receives the 14th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. To determine the last 2 picks in the draft, the number 15th pick goes to the number 15th pick in the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft goes to number 15. Cash receives the 15th pick in the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft. So that would leave for the 16th pick in the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft. That would leave if I could get it. Number 4. Back receives the 16th pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft. Alright. Yo, so that concludes the 2018 Fantasy Football League Draft Lottery for the $120 Fantasy Football League. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of repeat the names in the order of the draft that came out and what we determined. So for the first pick in the 2018 $120 Fantasy Football League Draft, the first pick goes to Running Brackets. The second pick in the draft goes to Jag Nation. The third pick in the draft goes to Tropics. The fourth pick in the draft goes to Go Zeke. The fifth pick in the draft goes to Tony's Terrific Team. The sixth pick in the draft goes to Matthew Allen's team. The seventh pick in the draft goes to Bless 'em Boyz. The eighth pick in the draft goes to James's Neat Team. The ninth pick in the draft goes to the People's Champ. The 10th pick in the draft goes to Kiara's Unreal Team. The 11th pick in the draft goes to Chris's Nice Team. The 12th pick in the draft goes to goes to Brandon's team. The 12th pick in the draft goes to Brandon's team. The 13th pick in the draft goes to Dwayne's team. The 14th pick in the draft goes to MATTRESSMAN. The 15th pick in the draft goes to Cash. The 16th pick in the draft goes to back to back to back. Alright, so that concludes the draft order. Please be ready and online on September 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Central Time for your draft. You have your draft order right now, so you can kind of determine your draft board, kind of get your queue ready. Stay tuned for more Fantasy Football League podcasts for the $60 League and the $120 League coming your way this season. Just stay tuned. We got a lot of content, a lot of videos coming your way. And this was the first one, so just stay tuned. We got a lot more coming.